You know, YouTube, there's no way that I'm going to upload a 20-minute review of a 4 out of 5. I mean, 4 out of 5. God, I'd be talking for like an hour about a 4 out of 5 beer. There's no way I'm going to upload a 20-minute review of a 4 out of 10 beer. So I'm probably going to keep this brief. Well, I intend to, but it'll probably end up just being a regular 10-minute plus review. But it's going to be more of a discussion than an actual review because, as you can tell by the title, we're looking at the Innis Gunn IPA, which comes in this lovely packaging, limited edition. I will state for the record and in the name of fairness and integrity, which, I'm full of integrity. The best before on this beer is August 2018. Recording this on the early hours of Christmas Day. So it's not the freshest. Let me put it out there. But yeah, give you a very brief synopsis. Colour, as you can see, it's got that sort of like copper, slight amber look to it. Quite clear, even though they say that this is an unfiltered beer. Yeah, you tell me that's unfiltered. That's like clean as a whistle. It really, really is. But beer poured with, as you can see, slightly off-white head. It looks like your standard IPA, all things considered. Let's give it a bit of a sniff. It's got a gherkin smell to it. In my initial review, I said it reminded me of what I remember McDonald's smelling like in the 90s, which is sort of a backhanded compliment because I rarely have fond memories of the 90s McDonald's smell, funny enough. But it's got that sort of like gherkin, like slight vinegar aroma, with the vinegar that helps preserve the gherkins. It's got that sort of like pungent sweetness, if that makes sense. I mean, this is brewed with Cascade, Centennial, and Mandarina. And I'd say that Cascade shines through with this. But it's got that sort of like, excuse me, onion and garlic, like sweet, savoury element to it. But I just can't get the image of McDonald's gherkins out of my head. I really can't. There's a slight sweetness coming from the malts. It's got floral tones, herbal tones. It's not exactly the most pleasant smelling IPA. So we'll give it a quick taste. It's just so nondescript. And it's an IPA. It should be hoppy, especially when they say intensely hopped. If this is intensely hopped, I've never experienced a hoppy beer. And what else did they say on this? Where is it? Innis Gunn IPA is 100% unfiltered. Fuck off. This means that we've kept the beer true to its natural form, locking in the flavour from the hops and malts. That's clear. That's a clear beer. That's not unfiltered. And I don't mean this to bash on Innis Gunn, this review, because I don't think they deserve it. I honestly think that Innis Gunn, especially for the sort of domestic British market, they need a fucking kick up the arse. Because I remember, just a matter of 2-3 years ago, Innis Gunn were like a really exciting, intriguing, forward-thinking brewery. I mean, they were bringing barrel-aged beers to the masses for really accessible prices and giving you like vanilla barrel-aged, like oaky, brown ales and Scotch ales and really intriguing flavours that the casual drinker doesn't really usually get access to. And like the whole birth of the brewery is a great story. You know, I'm not going to go into it because you know the history of Innis Gunn, and if not, there's going to be reference links down below. So they were really exciting. They were really exciting, and I remember because I think I've only got the original on the channel. I remember just drinking their beers, coming in nice little boxes like that, presented beautifully, and having these really wonderful flavours that I was just not used to. And I was provided for like at most £2, and you could not complain. And I don't know what's gone wrong with them. I know that they're a lot bigger in like Canada now, and they release some really intriguing, if not gimmicky, albeit gimmicky beers, like that beer that they brewed using water from clouds, and like an aphrodisiac beer, and all of these like where it's purely the marketing team dictating what the brewery releases, that sort of thing. And you drink something like this, and it's just such a shame. It really, really is. I mean, I'm just going to come out and say it. If you want to stop the video after I've said this, fair enough. But this, to me, the Innis Gunn IPA, it's a 4 out of 10. It's just so uninspired. And some of the bold statements and claims that they've got to sell this beer, you know, unfiltered. You tell me that's unfiltered. Intensely hopped. That's nowhere near intensely hopped. I'm sorry, it's just not. It's just such a generic IPA, and that's the thing. You can't be too angry about it. It's not anger. It's just genuine disappointment. And I don't mean this to be... If the guys from Innis Gunn are watching this, I've got big love for you guys. The way you've expanded, your reputation, you know, the beers that I remember drinking and absolutely loving. I mean, I recently revisited the original, and that is just a shadow of what that beer used to be. And hearing about some of the releases from like my Canadian friends on YouTube, and they're like more special beers, you know, fairly generic, purely marketing, purely like what's that word? Clickbait style beers, if that makes sense. Very corporate. No individual. Like, I don't know. It just seems like there's something. It's like they're a power struggle in Innis Gunn right now. I don't know. It just seems like that brewery's in like limbo. I mean, this is a serviceable, drinkable beer, but I've had much better IPAs. And I said it wasn't the freshest. It just doesn't seem like a lot's faded for it to turn into this. I'm not picking up any faults. I'm not picking up of like bad storage or anything like that. It's just I don't know. I really don't know. It's just a real shame. And that's it, really. Am I wrong about Innis Gunn? Does anybody else feel the same? I know some of the Canadian guys have echoed my thoughts and opinions. It just seems like, what the hell are you doing? And they released that like that spiced rum beer recently. I watched Christoph and Dean's review of that, their live review, and again they were like saying, "Oh, big bold." Yeah, they were like promising like big bold spiced rum flavors, but that was like pretty much nondescript, completely undetectable. What's going on? I don't know. It's such a shame because I used to remember them being really fucking awesome. I'm starting to sound like Stefan Molyneux right now. Just minus the tentacles and the... You know, you phone into Stefan Molyneux's show with problems regarding someone else, and it always turns out to be just you. It's your problem, your fault, the way you're living your life. Either that or it's your single mother, because he seems to hate single mothers and mothers who dare to have careers for themselves, even though I'm a big fan of Stefan Molyneux. God, what a fucking odd segue that was. Some people are thinking, who the fuck is Stefan Molyneux? Look him up. Really interesting guy. A lot of interesting things to say. Not always what I agree with. Kind of like Innis Gunn, but interesting nonetheless. I will be reviewing more Innis Gunn beers on the channel, just as to show fairness and show integrity. But I'm just really not impressed by this, and it's just triggered this sort of bitchy, moany rant. So again, if any of the guys from Innis Gunn are watching this, do not misconstrue this as like a hate video, because I've still got a lot of respect for you guys. You've expanded, you're doing really intriguing things, but it just seems like their beers are just not delivering on what they're promising, and there just seems to be like a quality drop and a uniqueness drop. I'm not saying every fucking beer produced by anyone has to be completely unique from every other beer, but they're just it's just very disappointing. It really, really is. So yeah, that's it really. If anybody else has reviewed this beer, then of course their reviews are down below. And again, if you agree with me on Innis Gunn, or if you completely disagree, share your thoughts and opinions down below in the comments. What are your thoughts and opinions on them? What are some of your favourite beers by Innis Gunn? Hit me up in the comments down below. Check out Innis Gunn, of course. I think every brewery, if you're interested in beer, you should at least try as many beers as you can. You know, even if a brewery you've tried 4 times and all of them have been misses, and then there's other beers available, still give them a go, just to be fair and to form a rounded opinion. But yeah, very unimpressed with this. And to be honest, Innis Gunn, you've fucking ruined my Christmas now. I'm joking. Anyway, that's it. It's still 13 fucking minutes. Do you know what I mean? A waste of a video. Not really a review, but I'll be interested to hear your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. Check out my IPA playlist for much better examples of the style. Check out Innis Gunn. Check out Friends reviews. And more importantly, I hope you join me next time for an actual beer review. And as you can tell, I've already had a few beers tonight, so I'm a little bit lubricated. And the filter has been scrapped. Although I don't think Innis Gunn deserve to have like a proper rant video against them, because there's still hope, there's still promise. They've got such a good reputation. It just seems like there could be something wrong with the brewery. I don't know. But the beers that I've had recently have just not delivered, and it's a real shame. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and hopefully you'll join me next time for another beer review. Cheers.